The Davao Doctors Hospital has come far since its hopeful beginning 5 decades ago. In that span of time, it has become Davao's premier medical institution, widely known for its state-of-the-art facilities and best-in-class specialized medical care. So how did this all start? Imagine Davao in 1960s. Mindanao was a frontier area, and Davao was backward, yet full of promise, luring people to build a better life here. Within that, imagine a group of young graduates from top medical schools, fire in their belly, seeking fulfillment in their careers.
Napunta ako sa Davao because ako'y bata pang first year pa lang po ng medicine nung panahon ng hapon, nagkaroon ng SONA sa amin.
We graduated from UP. Among our classmates were Dr. Ermi Villano, Riz Pangan, my husband, and we were from class 1954. I had my residency training in United States.
Both of us, Jerry and I, graduated from the University of the Philippines College of Medicine. And I went to the United States to pursue obstetrics and gynecology residency.
I came to Davao after a 5 years residency training in the United States.
From Luzon, province of Bulacan. Well, actually, Davao was said to be the promised land.
I am from Nueva Ecija. I arrived Davao without knowing anybody.
We graduated from the UP College of Medicine in 1958. We had our residency training in PGH also. Me in pediatrics and he in OB-GYN. Most of our classmates are almost all, half of them are in the United States. But we stayed here and back to Davao.
Mga magaling man sila, magayope man sila lahat.
So what was medical practice like in Davao in the 1960s? Nothing like it is now. Doctors operated out of pharmacies and hospitals. Hospitals were run by religious orders and the government. None of these organizations were able to keep up with rapid advances in medicine or the needs of an expanding population.
The practice then was most of the doctors had
offices
in drugstores. They were invited to increase their sales.
It was hard to start private practice at that time because the hospitals then were being run by their own physicians. They had their own in-house physicians.
At that time, hospital practice kasi ang medicine in Davao. It means that lahat ng pasyente ng hospital.
The hospitals practicing medicine, the patients are taken care of by these doctors for the hospital. In other words, the fee goes to the hospital, not to the doctor. The doctors were paid on a salary basis.
The practice then was not the ideal one because we did not have the instruments, the equipments, the facilities that was really needed in the hospital.
And then, very limited ang facilities. Frustrated talaga, lalo na yung iba sa ibang specialties. Wala silang infant resuscitator, walang incubator. They were doing minor surgeries without giving patients anesthesia. Ano lang, yung sedation lang.
Wala ba mga specialized kung ano?
And in fact, made a statement in front of me and said, you can never succeed here in Davao as a pure specialist. You must become a GP. And I said, okay, I'll try.
Like anything big, of course, Davao Doctors Hospital had its small, but yes, hopeful beginning. by creating an integrated medical facility where doctors can actually put into practice their individual specialties as partners. The visionary doctors brought a quantum leap to medical care in Mindanao.
Prepare the AMPAP. Ventilations every 6 seconds. Continuous compressions. Push hard and fast. Prepare IV line now. Compressions. Put the tracing now. Check pulse. Check pulse. Elbow pulse. You have an IV line.
And as far as I know, the purpose of organizing the Davao Doctors Hospital is to have a hospital where this group can practice.
So at that time, the doctors were thinking of establishing a hospital in which the doctor will be the ones responsible for managing the hospital.
In a sense, when we put up the hospital, the other hospitals tried to compete, to keep their patients.
Well, that time, the only thing I think that Davao doctors made a very big contribution to the city of Davao is they presented specialist medicine.
Raise the standards of medical care, not only for us, but other hospitals.
The founding doctors played on their individual strengths and respective resources to establish a premier hospital from the ground up.
Fast clip, 500 cc now. Air defibrillator.
We were just new in Davao. We did not have the money. We just had the bravado. We arrived in the early 60s and we started the hospital in 1967 and the hospital was built, inaugurated in 1969.
Corporation papers, yan lahat ang gumain sa Manila. Kaya meeting dito, punta sa Manila. Gastos yun at his own expense yun, ha?
For the nursing personnel, it was Mrs. Ida Salvacion who was interviewing and hiring nurses. And for the personnel, it was Sito who interviewed and hired these janitors, telephone operators.
Ako ang nag-present ng requirement para sa instruments operating room with limited dahil ang budget man, maliit man,
And so, the first version of the now towering Davao Doctors Hospital began to rise from the ground up.
We had only enough capital for 3 floors, di ba? But my vision was to have 5 floors.
But with the memory of the fatal collapse of Manila's Ruby Tower in the late 1960s, the founding doctors and engineers made it a point to harness construction safety innovations still untried in Davao.
By the way, the concept of steel beams and steel girders were still new. And that's the reason why the construction was so fast.
At that time, there was an accident in Manila na nabagsak yung Ruby Tower. So they thought that it has to be a floating thing.
You know, we poured a lot of money on that foundation. That's where most of the money went. Buhos doon, I tell you.
To the founding doctors, there was no turning back at this point. The hospital had to be finished. The hospital had to be operational. And the hospital had to survive its birthing pains at whatever cost.
Steer away from the patient. You have a pulse carefully.
Wala akong kaba. Kasi I could see man the hospitals at that time. I knew the condition of the hospitals. Our plans will be more attractive to the doctors.
Our aim at that time was to provide medical care and money was secondary.
You get the last unprofessional thing. The hospital should be, it's our hospital. So wala lang sa amin yan.
So most of our professional fee were not paid. Eventually they're paid later part collected, pero not all of them. So it's sacrifice of this staff until the hospital became more stable when we started collecting this.
Pero ako, kung di maka-afford, di wag, librehin mo na lang. Bakit kailangan pilitin sa magbayad?
The hospital is where it is now because of the efforts of other people. With proper management, and I think the credit should belong to your Tito Ernie. And Jog and Joge. I mean, they also had the foresight to invest in equipment, to update on technology, and so on and so forth. Without that, that hospital is down.
Fueled by their dedication to push the project through, each founder dug deeper into their personal resources to inject more equity into the hospital, irrespective of immediate returns.
We have to make loans using collaterals and titles of some members of the staff.
But the banks will not lend us money until we have other collaterals.
Oo nga, ang patay mga lupa na naman, hindi raman nila para collateral, kay kulang man silang collateral.
Some of us have to put up titles of properties as collateral.
Most doctors opened offices on the ground floor to jumpstart the hospital while construction was still going on the upper floors. This generated much-needed cash flow even before the hospital became fully operational.
Even if the hospital section is not finished, the office section should be finished first so that doctors can move in and pay rent.
While we were setting up our practice, we had our patients. Amidst the construction work, the bing-bang of the hammering and all that, it was quite a difficult situation, but somehow we survived.
Kasi ang clinic sa below pa, sa baba. Ang first floor, all clinics siya.
Yeah, when the first floor was finished, we moved in. It was one of the requirements to this hospital.
They had a shared vision and interest, but it is the camaraderie they developed through the trials and growing pains that enabled them to see the project through.
The community was good, the fellowship was perfect, it was a hell of a time for me and your father, we drink and we enjoy each other.
A few years back, marami kaming kainan. Yeah, we thought that our group would remain small, that puros magkaibigan.
Out ng meeting nila. Every now and then, mag-meet yan sila almost every night.
Nagpapati pa kami, construction pa yung Davao doctors na yan. Doon kami sa bawat third floor pa yung second floor. Wala pang mga room sa lahat. Yan yung party ng mga Davao doctors.
Masaya kami in spite of the hard work.
Although the male doctors among founders had the limelight, the founding women, doctors or spouses, played equally vital roles towards their common endeavor.
Mostly the role of the women were defining policies for the departments.
We, the women, were in charge of furnishing the hospital and I could remember Mrs. Kanchok was more on the kitchen.
She was also a very elegant woman. She wanted this hospital to be the most modern hospital.
And Rosa helped in the sewing of the gowns and everything. We did that in the hospital with the aid of seamstress, I think.
These men and women laid the foundation which enabled everyone involved, the nurses, medical technicians, dietitians, administrative and maintenance staff, to make Davao Doctors Hospital a success.
We have a pulse here for intubation. Call the ICU. Please prepare the ICU. Ma'am, your husband is stable na po.
Salamat. Thank you, Doc.
As to me, I got to know these founders as a child, mom and dad, ninangs and ninongs, and titas and titas. They were the giants of my childhood. And now, going back through their experiences with the lens of an adult, I am awed by their achievements. I am humbled by their pioneering spirit, the travails and sacrifices they went through to change the practice of medicine in Davao. And if Davao Doctors Hospital is the premier hospital that it is today, it is because we stand on the shoulders of giants. Real giants.
Gusto mo maging doktor ka, be a good doctor, that's all.
Stick to the ethics, medical ethics.
Practice medicine first, and money will follow.
Don't treat your patient like a business deal. You cannot cure them, comfort them, and be compassionate with your patient.
Well, I would request the younger generation to have more loyalty to the institution. And what I mean is they should spend more time seeing patient in this hospital.
Sa akin, ayaw ko lang lipat-lipat. Pwede ka magpunta sa Brokensan, pwede ka magpunta kung saan-saan. Pero sa akin, start ka sa Davao Doctors lang. Para pag meron kang yung mga cases mo, lahat doon, it will also help the hospital to grow.
But they should not be thinking of their own rights only. They should think of the hospital. Hospital grows, they will grow with the hospital.
Physicians have got to learn how to cooperate with each other and not to fight against each other.
Be open to the ideas of others. Perhaps learn how to compromise if you.
So being fair to everybody, to the patient and all those concerned.
And I think another principle is be honest, be transparent.